back after a short break. It's about 2:02, and we are going to start the redirect examination of Ms. Novak by Mr. Cross. And we are on the record. You can see that we're recording. There's a little red dot up in the right-hand side of the screen. Go ahead then, please.
Okay, I guess we'll just try to go in reverse order. Did you engage in any settlement discussions with the department to get your job back?
Yes, through you.
Okay.
It's my attorney. Yeah.
When was the last time you got you engaged in those settlement discussions?
I think we all had a meeting on the day of the pretrial conference to try to settle or negotiate.
Okay. And did the department ever offer to give you re-employ you at the department?
At one point they did. They offered a new position, I believe, a job at Waupun Correctional, which was a big demotion.
Okay. And let's say, did you offer to return as a warden at any time?
Yes.
Okay, and at Red Granite, in fact?
Yes.
Was that offer accepted?
No.
Okay. Now, let's just, there was some discussion about your knowledge of the policy of the progressive discipline policy, right?
Right.
Right, but you knew that that was not on the table because of the serious misconduct allegation, right?
I'm going to object to the word new.
I would think she testified that she believed that was her opinion. I think that is the state of the record. It's her opinion. The policies have a different thing. So let's just stay with that was what she believed in her experience and knowledge that's what it was.
Right, and you knew that there's a difference between what the policy and procedure says and what's the actual practice, right?
Yes.
Objection.
Right, and you also know that there's an
Judge, can I get a ruling on that objection, please?
No, 1 second. 1 second. I do not want you to continuously object about that particular issue unless it's really important, Mr. Mullenbach. I completely understand that she is talking from her experience and her beliefs. And I know what the policies say. You can do whatever you're going to do with that in briefs or with other witnesses, whatever. Let's move on. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Because in fact, the secretary told you something that was different than the policy, right? About terminations.
Yes.
Okay, and also in fact, the secretary told you something, or sorry, the director told you something different than is in the policy for putting somebody out on administrative leave, right?
The vagueness of the question.
The administrator, excuse me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if you were still going to object, Mr. Mullenbach. Okay, so then there were other administrators who were disciplined along with you, right? For example, the security director and the deputy warden, right?
Yes, we call those, yeah, the
Okay.
executive staff. Mm-hmm.
They weren't the appointing authority. Do you know what the outcome of their separation from the department was, if anything?
Deputy Warden Weber and Security Director Gusky retained attorneys, and I believe they settled through WERC, if that's correct terminology.
Okay, but do you know what the original outcome of what Secretary Carr's determination for them was?
Exactly what they got.
I'm going to object. It assumes facts not in evidence.
Okay, yes, we don't know. I don't know. The
Great,
question
let's go to
is, I
R10.
assume
Thank
is,
you.
yeah, can we just get a result, please? Did you know if Mr. The deputy warden Gusky is his name?
The deputy
Mr.
warden,
Weber. Right. Was Mr. Weber, the deputy warden, terminated?
he was terminated, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what about Mr. Gusky, the security director?
He was terminated.
Okay. Okay. Now, I think are you able to explain the difference between why there was or between what you testified as the policy or the practice to consult Ms. Fesahai, the administrator, before putting somebody out on leave, and what you testified the purpose of contacting Doug Percy was?
Yeah, when I say when I made determinations to put people out on leave, I did. I mean, that's true. I made the determination, but I had to call them and show them my letter and say, this is what, do you support me? This is what I decided. Although when you read in policy, I have the authority to do that. I couldn't just decide and send that letter to somebody without contacting them first. That was a directive from Ms. Fesahaya.
Okay. But then also, but is there a separate purpose for going to Mr. Percy, or was that just part of the first step of that process, or something else?
We follow the chain of command. So if Mr. Percy's available, that's who I would call. If he wasn't, then I'd have to go to Ms. Fesahaya.
Okay. I understand. But was there a reason why, did you go to Ms. Fesahaya?
For any of my,
No, regarding Ms. Zimdahl.
no,
Okay, why not?
because I asked my supervisor for direction, who's the first person I go to. He said, make your own decision. I gave him all the evidence I had, all the evidence we just went through. I relayed to Mr. Percy. And if he would have thought she needed to be put out on leave, he wouldn't have hesitated to tell me. He would have said, oh my God, you better get her out on leave. Or as he normally answered, he would say, oh wait, I gotta go check with Magda. I gotta run it by Magda, I'll call you back. That's generally the two responses. This time, he put it back on me. And so I made that determination like I made every 100, 200, 300 other determinations about putting somebody out on leave. I was never told that I do it wrong, that I don't have good judgment. I don't even know Holly Zimdahl. I didn't know her. I wasn't giving her any special attention. If there was clear-cut evidence she was bringing drugs in, she would have been out on leave. If there was enough evidence that she was helping with an escape, she would have been out on leave. I know better than that. This was not the case.
Well, so was this the first time that Mr. Percy told you to handle it yourself?
I think so, yes. Yeah, I know it was, in fact, in putting people out on leave, yes.
Okay. And there was some testimony or questions back and forth about, question and answering back and forth about who was responsible for the fence. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, who do you believe is responsible for the fence?
Which fence are we talking about? Sorry.
I assume it was both, but if there's something different for the stun fence as opposed to the other fence, please let me, the razor wire fence, please let me know.
So Yeah, the security fence around the institution, that falls under the buildings and grounds supervisor. And their supervisor is the CMSD, the Corrections Management Services Director.
Okay, about how many levels of management supervision is the warden from that position?
I directly supervise the CMSD, the Corrections Management Services Director.
Okay, was that person disciplined, do you know?
That was the vacant position.
I don't understand that, I'm sorry.
The CMSD had retired April 1st.
Oh, so there was nobody doing that job at that time?
No, we had split the duties up, but the practice and the policy is if there is something wrong with the fence, that the buildings and grounds superintendent goes to the CMSD, but before they do that, they go to the security director because it's a security issue. You know, and this has happened at many institutions I've been at. Fence isn't working, they go to the security director, what do we do? Oh, okay, can you get it working? If not, we will put other things in place. We'll have an extra perimeter, we'll put somebody out there. They take steps if the fence isn't working when we know about it. It's
Okay.
nothing you say, I'll fix tomorrow, just leave it.
And I know before you were trying, there was a question about, well, they asked you, when Deputy Warden Weber mentioned the stun fence to you, what action, the stun fence was installed incorrectly, what actions did you take? Do you remember discussing that before?
Yes.
Okay, did you have more to answer?
Well, like when you go to a new institution, everybody hits you up. We need this. This is wrong. This has to be done. This has to be done. When the fence came up, it was told that, yep, in his opinion, it was installed wrong. All the other institutions are on the other side. And I said, we talked about, you know, Warden Dittman, who was prior to me, comes from the ranks of security. He's very security minded. I said, what happened? Oh, there was a security audit that was authorized for Columbia. That was part of the security audit. And it works its way up the chain. I mean, as a warden, I don't have millions of dollars as a budget to fix the fence on my own. So in my mind, administration knew about it. They were alerted. Jim Schwacker said everybody knew about it. He was the warden at Dodge. And a warden, I can't believe somewhere else, that everyone knew that that's what happened with it.
And while you were warden, did you have meetings about the budget priorities with your staff?
We had quarterly budget meetings with my staff and then also with central office. We
Okay.
get into the fiscal year meetings where, this rarely happens, but occasionally there's extra money or there's extra money in another pot. That's where I rely on my department heads. They come in, I say, what does your area need? What's deficient? What supplies do you need? That's where we need a new oven. We need a new stove. Those big ticket items come to me from my department heads.
Right, but a fence is on several orders of magnitude different or above a stove, right?
Definitely, but they still could have brought it. They said, well, you know, we could do this. This is a security risk. I mean, even though it's been there 14 years,
Okay.
if they deemed it a risk that it was not, that should be changed, that would have came to my attention that through that means.
And you told all that to Internal Affairs before they filed the pre-disciplinary notice with you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. I have a clarifying question here, and we looked over this several times, so I don't, if we need to, let me know. But this is an employee investigation report summary of investigative findings. And I believe you said that you saw this prior to getting the disciplinary notice. Did I understand that right?
I would have to look at the dates. I don't remember.
Okay, I'm sorry, Judge, if you can show her exhibit 182, or page 182, exhibit 12.
All
And
right,
just
we're on response exhibit 12, and you said page one, this is 152, and you want 182. Correct.
182, yeah. And just so we can be clear, my question is when exactly before you got the pre-disciplinary notice did you see this?
This, I believe this is what you're served when you come into your pre-disciplinary hearing. Because when I get a letter saying that one has been scheduled, it's just very brief synopsis. And then you come in and you're kind of surprised, you're kind of surprised by this. This gives a lot more detail. You don't get to see this days ahead of time. You
So
see
this, you saw this, you would have seen this at the disciplinary hearing.
Yes.
Okay, did they give you time to read it if you remember?
Yes.
Okay. So, and in your disciplinary hearing, you had a written statement, is that right?
Yes.
And did you read that verbatim?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I might have added to that because like I said, I don't see all the allegations, the detail ahead of time. I can only guess from all my interviews what might be on there and from the little synopsis that I was given.
Okay. So, and if we can go down to page 184, that's just 3 down, I think.
Okay, 183 and 184.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Perfect. Okay. And you read this during your disciplinary hearing?
Yes.
Okay. And then it says there that you received information regarding the perimeter fence at CCI being incorrectly installed when you became the warden in August of 2018. Is that accurate?
No. That to me, that reads that as soon as I became a warden, they told me about it.
Okay.
That wasn't on my priority list. That wasn't anything I was brought to my attention by my supervisor.
And then you see that you did not ensure notifications were made to the DCC Electronic Monitoring Center and the Office of Victim Services and Programs. You see that?
Yes.
Is that accurate?
No.
Okay. Now, this last one here says that you had multiple sources of information involving Holly Zimdahl's misconduct prior to the escape. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Is that, I guess the question is, what does the term misconduct there mean to you?
First of all, it says multiple sources of information. It doesn't say credible information is what I was lacking. Corroborating. Misconduct to me means violating work rules. Again, more of the serious level work rules to put somebody out on administrative leave. We're not talking attendance violations or that type of misconduct.
Okay. And this, do you believe that to be accurate?
Well, like I said, I had sources of information coming in here and there on all the food service workers down there. Now, if I would put somebody out on leave because they went into a cooler with an inmate, I would have no food service leaders left at all in that kitchen. I think
Okay.
it's testified to that. That's a common occurrence.
And do you see Doug Percy's name listed anywhere on there?
No,
Okay. And that was missing at the time of the pre-disciplinary hearing, right?
yes.
Okay. Now, during subject interviews, there's a statement that's read to the subject of the meeting, right? The
Yes,
subject of the interview, okay. And one of them says, informs the interviewers to state that no decision will be made until all the facts of the investigation are considered. Is that true according to your understanding and training?
can you read that? Can you say that again?
Sure, and I'm gonna re-ask that question a different way. It's does it say, or are interviewers required to tell subjects that no decision will be made until all the facts of the investigation are considered?
Yes, I believe so. There is a statement that sounds familiar. There is a written statement that we read to everybody, or that's read to you if you're the subject in a pre-dis.
Okay, based on your knowledge and experience with the Department of Corrections, is that an accurate statement?
No, not always.
Okay. Ah. Okay, Judge, can we go to page 157? And we've seen this several times today.
All right, we're on respondents exhibit. What is it here? Do you know if we're on 12?
It's 10 or 12 or
Yeah, it's response exhibit 12, I think
12.
it is.
Yeah, 12, sorry.
On exhibit
Okay.
12, page 157. Go ahead.
And do you see up there in the top, the corner there, that says the incident date?
Yes,
And what's that incident date there?
ongoing 2018 to present.
Okay, do you know what that time frame represents?
My time as a warden.
So your entire time as a warden, even before the escape, is that right?
Yeah, it doesn't say when in 2018, but like I said earlier, I was hired around October of 2018, I believe.
Okay, and it also says your job classification there is warden, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, so based on that information, is it fair to say that you were being investigated for the entire time of your employment?
It could be, even though I got a positive performance evaluation in that time frame, but
And when did that happen?
that happened. I think it was a 3-month. I want to say December. No, it had to be. No, I don't know.
Okay. Do you know who issued those positive evaluations?
Doug Percy.
Do you know about when that happened?
I have a copy of it, but I'm not supposed to look at my notes, I don't think.
Well, I mean, was it before the lockdown?
I almost want to say it was the prior administration. It might have been like December. Sometimes we're supposed to get 3 6-month evals when you're new to a position, but I had only gotten that one, giving me feedback on how I was doing.
Okay, got it.